chauli or black-eyed beans instantly, I'm going to take about 1 cup of them in my pressure pan and I'm going to roast them for at least 5 minutes. Then I'm going to just rinse them thrice under running water. And then I'm just going to add about 1.5 cups of water to the pressure pan and I'm going to cook it on 1 whistle on high and simmer for 15 minutes. And then once the cooker is cool, you can see that your chauli is already nice and cooked. So this is the fastest way to cook it. Now we have all these spices and like red chilies, then some fresh coconut, some coriander seeds, garlic, peppercorns, a little bit of turmeric powder, then there's fennel seeds or soft, some cloves, mace, cinnamon. This is 1 onion chopped fine and 1 onion sliced, 1 small tomato, some fresh coriander leaves. So I've just soaked in some water to which salt has been added. Now all these ingredients along with their correct measurements will be in the description box below, so you can go there and see everything. Now I'm just taking about a tablespoon of oil in my pan, and once the oil is hot, I'm going to add in my 4 cloves of garlic, my 1 onion which I've sliced, about 10 dried red chilies. Then I'm going to add my fresh coconut, and we're going to fry all this really well till we get the aroma of the coconut and the onions and the garlic and everything is nice and fried. This is a very important step, that you fry everything very, very well. Now you can also make this masala paste and store it in your refrigerator and in a little larger quantity, and whenever you feel like making this tonak, you can make it. Now I'm just going to add all my whole spices like my fennel seeds, then the coriander seeds, the cloves, the cinnamon, the peppercorns, a little haldi powder or turmeric powder, and I'm going to fry that too in the oil, and then I'm going to mix everything well together and fry everything well together. And then we're just going to let this cool to room temperature, and then we're going to grind this to a very, very fine paste. So remember that the mixture has to cool completely. Don't put a very hot mixture into your mixer pot. And then we're just going to add a little bit of water, say about 1/4 cup of water, and we're going to grind this to a very smooth paste. Now you get this lovely orange color paste. And then also clean out your mixer for the reserve water. So just add some water, and we're going to use this water too for our recipe. So none of that lovely masala water goes to waste. And then we're just going to add about 1/2 tablespoon of oil to the same pan, and we're going to fry 1 onion which has been diced. Fry it well. Then we're going to add our small tomato. Let this fry well too. Then we're going to add our masala paste. And we're going to mix everything well together. Let this fry again well till you have some of the masala oil coming to the surface. So this should take you about 3 to 4 minutes to fry the masala well. This is also very important. And now we're going to add some salt to taste. Now I have another chauli recipe also, which is pretty simple. I'll leave a link below so you can see that recipe too if you want to make that recipe. And now we're just going to add the masala water and add a little more water because we want a little thinner gravy, not a very thick gravy. Or you can add as much as you want. If you like it on the thicker side, then add just little water. If you want a little more, with little more gravy, then add a little more water. And then just give everything a mix. And then just add a little bit of chopped coriander leaves. And then we're just going to cover it and cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes on a very low flame. And that's it, friends. Such a simple recipe, yet so delicious. Give it a try, guys. Verdur, where you don't need to grind any masala paste. It's just a shortcut and easy recipe. Now first I washed my bottle gourd or dudhi really well, cut it up into half. Now I'm going to be using half for this recipe, and I'll be using half for the other recipe which I'll be posting very soon, so keep tuned to Akshata's recipes. Now after peeling it, I've just taken off the top and I'm just going to cut it up like this into medium sized cubes. We don't want very small cubes, we don't want large cubes, so medium sized cubes. So see that your dudhi is fresh. Always taste a little bit of the dudhi and see that it is not bitter. If it is bitter, please discard it. Your dudhi should be nice and sweet and fresh and not bitter at all. So this is half a cup of dudhi. Now I've taken one small tomato which I've chopped, 2 green chilies which I've slit, 1 medium-sized onion which I've cut, and 1 cup of thick coconut milk. Now I am using the ready-made coconut milk powder which I've just mixed up with some warm water, but if you want to use the organic, actually make the coconut milk, you're free to do that. Now in a bowl, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of Goa garam masala. I have posted a recipe. It's super simple. I will leave a link in the description box as well as the comment section, so check it out. Now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin powder, half a teaspoon of pepper powder. Next I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of coriander powder and 1/4 teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder. That's all the powder masalas that you need. Now I'm going to mix all the powder masalas really well, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic paste. I've just taken 4 large cloves of garlic and mashed them up in my mortar and pestle, and I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of water. Add a little at a time and mix all these ingredients, and this will become our masala paste. So there's no need of grinding all the spices and going through all of that. You can just mix everything nicely well together. Now the garam masala has got everything, cinnamon, cloves, so you can see the recipe, and your masala paste is ready. So now we can start making our verdur. So I've taken a pan, heated it on a low to medium flame. I'm going to add only 1 teaspoon of oil. This recipe does not require extra oil. Now once the oil is hot, I'm going to add the slit green chilies, and I'm going to fry the chilies really well so that they flavor the oil. Always fry your chilies well when they get a little bit of a white coating on the peel of the chili. That way it flavors the oil also very well. So once the chilies are fried, I'm going to add the onion. I've just taken 1 medium-sized onion, washed it, peeled it, and just chopped it. And I'm going to saute this onion for at least half a minute till it becomes a little bit translucent. So it's very important to, bagar all the veggies well. And now I'm going to add the small tomato that I've chopped, and I'm going to fry the tomato also really well for about half a minute at least. Now I'm going to add this masala paste that we made with all the powder masalas. Now I always have all these powder masalas, ready at hand. I'll leave a link to a video of my spice rack and even my kitchen tour video. So for those of you who have missed it, you can watch those all in the description box and the comment section down below. Now I'm just going to add about 1/4 cup of water to this masala paste. And now we're just going to mix everything well, and we're going to wait for the tomatoes to cook a bit, to become a little soft. That takes about half a minute. So let the tomatoes cook for about half a minute till they're a little bit soft. Now we're going to add the dudhi or the gourd, the bottle gourd, and we're going to coat all the pieces well with this bagar. Next, I'm just going to cover and cook this for about 7 minutes, but stirring in between to ensure that the dudhi is cooked. So to ensure that after about 7 minutes, just press one of the pieces down with your spoon or a knife and it should break very easily into 2 pieces. This is very important that the dudhi gets cooked before we add the coconut milk. So mix everything nicely together. And once your dudhi or your bottle gourd is cooked, now you're going to add the coconut milk. Just add a little more water, about 1/4 cup of water. Mix everything nicely together. And you see how the color of this verdur has become nice and light. Now we're going to add some salt to taste and a little pinch of sugar. Stir everything well, give it a taste, see if you need to add a little more salt. And then we're going to cover and cook this for another 5 minutes. And you can see that now the dudhi has become translucent. You can actually, it's like the pieces are translucent. That means your dudhi is ready, your verdur is ready. And this goes best with some nice rice and some fried fish and pickle, or even some prawn chili fry at the side. So just serve this up nice and hot. And it's really, really delicious. And this is very nice for the summer. It's very light on the palate and the tummy. So do try out this recipe and do let me know in the comment section how you like this recipe. Go and check out all my other Goan recipes. All the recipes with their links will be in the description box as well as the comment section. You just click on the link and you can go to my recipe directly. So thank you so much for being here on Akshata's recipes. I'll catch you soon in my next video. Bye. So let's start. So here I have taken 1 cup of white vatanas or white peas, wash them thrice under water really well, and then I'm going to soak them in 2 cups of water for at least 5 to 6 hours. Also, I'm going to soak a little bit of tamarind, about 1 teaspoon of tamarind in some water. And now we're going to roast some spices and some other ingredients. So let's go through the ingredients. So here I have taken 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds, which is also called sauf. Next, we're going to use about 10 peppercorns, which is also called as miri. Next, we're going to go with 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds, also known as khaskhas. About 4 cloves, which is lavang. Then we're going to use 1 inch of cinnamon, also known as dalchini. 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds or dhania. And 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Now we're also going to be using about 4 dried red chilies, 1 medium-sized onion, half a cup of freshly grated coconut, and a few curry leaves, about 5 to 6 fresh curry leaves. So let's start with today's recipe. Now I'm going to take a pan and I'm going to dry roast all the whole spices, leaving out the dry red chilies, the onion and the curry leaves. All the other spices that I've shown you, we're going to dry roast them for about a minute or so till you get the lovely aroma. And then you're going to transfer this to a nice clean and dry bowl. Now in the same pan, after wiping it with a clean cloth, I'm just going to add about 1 teaspoon of oil. And now I'm going to add the dry red chilies, the curry leaves and the onion. And we're going to fry these 3 ingredients for about 2 to 3 minutes till you get the lovely aroma of the curry leaves and the onion and the chilies also fried well. We're going to transfer this to the bowl. And then I'm going to add just about half a teaspoon more of oil and we're going to add the fresh coconut. We're going to fry this coconut really well till it becomes nice and dark brown or light brown in color rather. So just fry it for about a minute or 2 and then you'll see that it turns into this light brown kind of fried coconut. We're going to add this to the bowl too. Now we're going to let all of these ingredients come to room temperature And then we are going to add them to our mixer jar. And now I'm going to squeeze out the pulp of the tamarind, and we're going to use that water to grind this masala or the paste. So add the water. It should be about 4 or 5 tablespoons of water. And I'm also going to add another 4 teaspoons of plain water. And we're going to grind this to a very fine paste. So this is the paste that is ready. To that I'm going to add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now I don't like to add the turmeric powder into the mixer jar because it discolors the lid. But if you want, you can go ahead and add the turmeric powder while you're grinding the paste itself. So now I'm going to be adding, so now after 5 to 6 hours of soaking the vatana, I'm going to add it to the pressure pan. To that I'm going to add 1 small onion that I've chopped fine, a little bit of salt, mix all of this really well. And then we're going to cook this for 1 whistle on high and then simmer it or cook it on a very low flame for 10 minutes. So now we have our paste ready, and now we just have to let the vatanas cook. So once the cooker has cooled down completely to room temperature, you can see that the white vatanas or the white peas are now completely cooked. You can check by just, taking one of the vatanas and just pressing them. They should just, crumble into pieces. That means it's cooked. If it's not cooked, then again add it back to your cooker and cook it for another 5 to 6 minutes. So now I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of oil. I've transferred the vatanas to another bowl. And now once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mori or rye. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of hinga or asafoetida. Now I'm going to add this ground paste to the oil. And we're going to fry the paste really well. Keep your flame between low to medium and fry the paste well in the oil. And now to the bowl in which we had kept the paste, I'm just going to add a little bit of water, about 1/4 cup of water, and mix the paste so that we don't waste any of the lovely goodness of this paste that we ground. So we can use this water. So now I'm going to add the cooked vatanas to the masala. The aroma in my kitchen is just fabulous with all of these lovely spices. Mix everything together. Now we're going to add this paste water. Mix everything well. Now this is a little bit of a thickish gravy, so don't add more water. We don't want it to be very runny. It should be more on the thicker side, like an usar. And now, of course, we're going to flavor it with some salt to taste. So you can add as much or as little salt as you like. Go give it a taste once you add the salt. Always add a little salt at a time. And then I also like to add just a little pinch of sugar. You can also add jaggery if you like. And then mix everything really well. And then I'm just going to cover and cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes on a low to medium flame, stirring in between. And now after 2 to 3 minutes, our lovely recipe is all ready. And I like to serve this with some hot, chapatis or puris. You can also have this with pav. Don't forget to add a nice big dash of lime or lemon juice, and you can enjoy this. So I hope you like today's recipe. I hope you will give it a try. I'll see you soon.